Part of the reason we're launching Amex Ads now has directly to do with our kind of differentiator and key competitive advantage. There's a lot of commerce media networks in the space right now. It's pretty crowded, and as an advertiser, American Express is a very large advertiser. We're constantly thinking about like finding the right audiences, the right groups, and for us that is part of the reason why we got into the space was because we have some kind of key critical differentiators. For us, it all starts with the customer. We have 34 million US consumer card members. They are high spending. They spend on average 2.9 times more than those on other networks. And advertisers and brands want to reach these customers and they want to get to them. And one of the things about American Express that I think is also different is we are a lifestyle company, not just a credit card company. And within that, we have things like AmexTravel.com. We are actually one of the largest global travel agencies. Most people don't know that. We have things like Resi, where we have 50 million card members or users enrolled on Resi, and we have 10,000 restaurants, and we have lounges at the airports. We have all these sorts of things that are really linked to our lifestyle. And so for us, it was really about the fact that we have this unique high spending audience that we know advertisers want to get to, and we have these great, amazing digital properties and platforms that our customers are engaging on to discover and buy. And so it's a great opportunity for advertisers to get their message in front of the right audience at the right time, and really in these moments that matter.
So Jake, forgive me if this is kind of an unfair question since Amex Ads just launched, but I know you've had some pilot programs with some brands, and so just from the start, how do you prove incremental sales versus just reaching people who are going to buy anyway?
Yes, thank you. We did start a pilot in about February of this year. Been running that with some big partners, Marriott and TUMI to name a few. For us, really, it's about the rich first-party data we have. So American Express is a closed-loop network. What does that mean? We directly acquire our customers onto our network, but we also directly acquire the merchants onto our proprietary network. And so we have these amazing relationships with both customers, card members, as well as the merchants. And that gives us the ability to have this really rich first-party data. We see what people spend across industry, across category, both online and offline. And what that does is it creates an opportunity for the sake of Marriott, who was advertising with us, to be able to say, I want to target an audience of those who have booked airline travel but have not yet booked a hotel. And so in doing that, we can really find an audience like that. And we're seeing like amazing results, 3 times in terms of their benchmarks of what they were looking for. And in the case of TUMI, one of the beauties of that situation is because it's transaction-based data, we have online and offline spend. So TUMI, which we would consider to be non-endemic on AmexTravel.com, they're really able to track and attribute true spend of both what's happening in store and online for them. And because we design all of this with a robust test and control framework, we actually can prove incrementality. And for TUMI, they were getting 30% better results than their internal benchmarks as well.
So Jake, obviously financial services, financial data is highly regulated. So with that in mind, how do you balance that with regulations and consumer privacy that surrounds it and still get advertisers the audience they desire?
Yeah, so actually American Express celebrated their 175th anniversary this year. We've been around, we started as a freight forwarding company in 1850, and in those 175 years, we have stood for safety, security, and trust, and that is at the core of our sort of brand message. And so we take data privacy very seriously. We take brand trust very seriously. So from a customer data privacy standpoint, one of the things that we're doing is we're starting on owned and operated properties. We're focused on an area where we frankly own and control all of the data sort of from start to finish. So our ability to really find the right targeting audiences, we can do that in a privacy first way. And from a brand trust standpoint, all of our audiences are authenticated. So when a brand is working with us, they know that they can trust the audience that we are sort of connecting them with and matching them with in our ecosystem.
So when it comes to connecting those audiences to advertisers, unlike retailers, you don't control the shopping destinations, right? So how do you scale Amex Ads beyond AmexTravel.com without losing the high intent context that makes it work?
Yeah, and this is where I think a key differentiator for us comes in, which is back to the fact that we are a lifestyle company, not just a credit card company. And so in that, we refer to things as our membership services. So within membership services, we have obviously travel, as I've mentioned. We have Resi, as we talked about in terms of dining. We also have partnerships that cover health and wellness. We just refreshed our Platinum card, and we have a Lululemon credit and an Aura Ring credit. And in addition to that, we have our lounges in our airport. And so for us, we actually have several touch points and ways to engage with our customers. And yes, we've started this platform from an advertising standpoint on amextravel.com. But as you think about the membership services and all the areas the touch points that we have with our card members, that is really where we're focused. And so you can see and you can start to imagine where we're going to take Amex Ads in the future.
So there are so many valuable parts of Amex, obviously. Wanted to get a sense of how Amex Ads fits into the wider scheme. For example, eMarketer predicts financial media networks will hit $1 billion by 2026. That's real money right there. So do you see Amex Ads as a meaningful revenue business builder, or is this primarily a card holder engagement play that happens to also produce some revenue?
Yes. So American Express, we are first and foremost focused on our customers. And customers for us does include our card members, but it also includes the merchants that we work with every day. And so, as I mentioned, from the closed loop standpoint, we have these direct and amazing relationships with merchants and the advertisers who want to run on our ecosystem. And so for us, we're very much focused on making sure that what we're building is a win for our card members. And in some instances that we are talking about amazing value that we can deliver. We have things like Amex Offers. We've been in the card-linked offer space for over a decade. We have amazing benefits. I made reference to some of those. And we have the opportunity to talk about those to our card members in the ways and spaces that make sense. At the same time, from an advertiser standpoint, we're delivering really, really strong return on ad spend. So we focus on both of those. And frankly, we talk with the advertisers around what their objectives are and make sure that we're delivering against those objectives. And so those two things are first and foremost. And of course, ultimately, this is a win for American Express. And so as we think about those pieces coming together, for us, what we'll build, yes, ultimately, we want to drive and grow our business collectively, but it's really about making sure that we're putting the customer first, both the card members and the brands and advertisers that we work with every day.